that. 50% quantum fuel. We came over here to terminus from Lorville with Banut Fender. And we never really checked on or realized, because we usually don't fly with this thing, but it has a massive quantum fuel capacity. So it was 100 gigamiles. Okay, say this is small ship, big ship. No idea, but yeah, we are here. The reason why we are here, as you can see from the title, the greenhouses, we wanted to do reputation. You see the previous streams, we did rep grinding faster than quantum travel. And while we did that, we realized that we had boxes laying around here. And that made us question, how did we forget that? And now we want to clean the houses as we used to, just to make sure that we sell all the boxes, and we hope that all the boxes are already at the selling location. It wouldn't be the first time that we lose money because of forgetting about the boxes, but we do not want to, let's say, waste our energy for not getting the reward. Yeah, and so we are here one day before IAE launches tomorrow in less than 24 hours. And that would mean that you need to hurry if you want to rep grind as we did. You can see our video we made. We are here in current view, and we still not maxed out the reputation for Red Wing. And while we are here at current view, we also want to have a look at the state we are in. Gear down.
Engines
We having a
off.
check on the contracts we have available here. And let's see, supply grade should be Ruin. We can take them all. Ruin station. We would recommend to go over here. Terminus, ruin station, ruin station. Ruin station would be the location where you would need to be in order to rep grind as we do. This is small grade, but you don't need to see the small grade, you need to see what kind that is, and this is junior. So this is basically stupid to use the juniors. We need to find the bulks. Bulk grade up here. And here we see also bottom, that's why you should go to ruin station. The ruin station contracts are at the bottom of the list. Accept them. All ruin station contracts. Ruin station. Yeah, there are some shillers, or let's say snowflakes, who really are pissed off that you can do almost a 700k contract with the whole sea and basically money grind in let's say not much effort. Yeah, but those who complain and actually, like in true fascism, request to reduce the amount of reward for these whole sea contracts, they don't see that you need to grind 16 mil in order to buy the whole sea in-game. So 16 mil you need to do, and then you need to grind the reputation in order to get these contracts. And this sort of contracts begins at the experienced rank. So you grind a lot with way less paid contracts until you get rewarded with the big fat heavy contracts like we see here. And a lot of people don't see that, they don't acknowledge. And in true fascism, I'm a lazy bastard, I don't want to grind 60 mil for the whole sea, so you do You are not allowed to grind 700k per, let's say, 15 minutes in order to make that contract going. That is true what we would call fascism. Like the same way would be, I pay taxes so you have paid taxes. That's fair. Yeah, true fascism. And so the fascists do not want us to be able to do these sorts of contracts and make that amount of money. And as you can see, we do not have that much money. We have 3.3 mil, because for us it is not about the money. It's not about the money anymore, because we gotta say, Star Citizen doesn't deserve the attention we give him. Because it's supposed to be a video game, but it's not. And as it is designed, it never will be. And according to the decision makers of Star Citizen, they actually let you know that this will never go live, and if so, it's just a legal fiction. So here you can see we still have cobalt down there, so we're gonna sell them. Nobody steals our ship, because that would be a pain. We haven't checked in nowhere, so that means when we exit the menu and relog, we will wake up again in Lowell. And the same would be the thing when somebody kills us or we crash into something, we will be back at Lowell. So we can see here, diamond laminite, nobody buys it. It is on the same price range like Atlassian. And Salty Mike made a video about the economy. We haven't really listened to him because we do not care what he has to say, but it is interesting that commodity trading becomes a topic once more. And so that is the reason why we are basically interested in that particular topic. Yeah, coming back to the Hull Sea, right? And then there are the other snowflakes who think, yeah, but you can buy the Hull Sea with IRL. It is pay to win. Yes, there are players. They spend how much is the Hull Sea? Pledge store Hull Sea. Yeah, with your argument, pay to win. Pay to win would mean I would spend 500 IRL in order to make that much money in a virtual space game for virtual space bucks in a virtual spaceship. That is not fair. And I gotta say, what the fuck is wrong with you? And even if you are the one who actually spent the money for that kind of shit, just to grind virtual space game, then you would say, you both better do anything.
Landing gear up.
So, what's going on?
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
So this is the moment of truth. Do we crash? What is wrong with our English today? I think we are way too tired. Way too tired today. So we go here for refuel.
Shields on.
Refueling is one reason why we know. Almost.
Landing gear down.
Yeah, just don't crash. This would be actually the second time we would take off today.
Landing complete. Launch complete.
the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. You're in scope. Please visit us again.
Now we have the issue that we are on one far end of
Engines on. Bürgertums. 100%. Shields off. Launch complete. Landing
so we
gear
go to
up.
Shepherds and when were we? We'll have a check on what's there.
Engines off.
Where is the elevator? Over here. So we show you something. I mean, we did it already. You see it in the video we made and published. This method will be gone by tomorrow, less than 12 hours. And it even looks like as if we can't even access to the elevator here because the elevator is too small. Wait, no. Too small. So what does that mean? We need to claim a bigger ship in order to get the bigger ship. Where is our street? It look like as if Twitch is streaming. Why is Twitch not streaming? YouTube, yeah. So, Twitch is streaming as well. Sorry for that.
Welcome to the
We
ASOP
are
vehicle
at
retrieval system.
Bullen Station. And we want to
You're in scope.
red grind a little before the patch drops tomorrow. But in the meantime, we also want to clean the houses, as you may see from the title of the video. And so we just not cleaned already part of here. We want to have a check on the other locations, Burger, Ravine, Shepherd's Rest, and hope that all the boxes are already at the selling location. And otherwise we are a little bit
Engines on. Systems off. Systems activating. Systems on.
Yeah, yesterday we had an interesting talk. Our friend, where do we have now?
Quantum travel engaged.
We made 2 mil with cobalt. That's why we are now on 5 mil. We started had an interesting talk yesterday with our friend Stinky. He logs in once a month, more or less. So he logged in yesterday. And he was poor, and he meant with poor less than 2 million. And at the end of the session, it wasn't even 2 hours, he had 150. And so we talked a little bit business, what to do in order to make money. And so we brainstormed a little how to make money, and we were talking about player trading. And so the best thing would be have a look at what is not the most rare but the most desired object in games, grind for it and sell it for much money. The other thing would be look at Wicklow, what he wants, and get the stuff he wants, but we only collect the stuff to get the things Wicklow offers. So we sell the package basically that gives the other player who buys all the ingredients Wicklow wants in order to get what he wants to play. And that would be a big money. And so he made it yesterday in less than, let's say, 3 hours of game session. He just sold some marble pieces and made 50 space bucks. Yeah. So this can happen, yeah. If you want to have an hourly rate, it would be 150 mil divided by 2, let's say it was 200. We say 50 mil per hour. Lucky dude. It looks cool, it looks nice. We love that, let's say, organic look, more or less. And it looks like a video game engine. But it really looks cool, all these shapes, it's molded nicely, 3D molded. There's the internal storage, 1350K, that is 1.3 SUs. And it's right opposite of the door, so you walk in, go to the storage, have your stuff. And here is something that we never really realized before. Does it work? Some sort of a rack here. No! Yeah, so 2 guns, or let's say 1 gun each pilot. Yeah. The right seat would be probably for someone who drives on the wrong side of the streets.
Quantum travel complete. Quantum travel engaged.
everything is miserable here in the verse. Yeah, IAE. We had speculated if we should pledge for the new RSI salvation. We had expected that they will have a processor built in that gives us opportunity the vulture and the reclaimer doesn't give us, and that would be collecting space dust. High quality material out of scrap for craft. And they call it leak, and so they leaked what the RSI salvation is, or rather to say it is not. So we do not need to worry missing RSI day tomorrow and not pledge for the salvation, because the salvation is, as they had been told, it is startership, a salvaging startership. So if you are brand new to Star Citizen, you think about pledging for whatever sort of ship, we recommend using our referral code down below the video. Register, create a free RSI account using our referral code, and then pledge for the RSI salvation as a starter ship if it is a game package. Yeah, with using our referral code, you will get 5,000 in-game starter cash. What can you buy with 5,000? Few commodities if you like, but that is a decent amount of starter cash. We would say there is an inflation here in Star Citizen, but what does that mean? Inflation, inflation also happens when it comes to loss of value of money. So you need to spend a lot of more money for the same object. Let's say a glass of water or a bottle of water. A bottle of water costs $1, and when inflation hits, the same bottle of water costs you $5. Ooh. There's a second box inside. Nice. But inflation is not only the stuff is getting expensive, more expensive, no. It's also your salary, your wage is getting higher. So in the number, everything gets higher, but bottom line, nothing gets more value. So when you get 50,000 starter cash instead of 5,000, that was it 1 year ago, what else is costing a zero more than it did before? And we would say nothing. So that means you can make way more and way easier in-game money to buy in-game ships, because even the in-game ships didn't experience an increase of price. So that is something what we would consider as not money grabbing, but
Systems activated. Systems on.
everybody can afford now to buy ships in-game in less than,
Landing gear.
we would even say in less than 1 week. And back in the day when we had started out, we worked our asses off 2.5 months just to get the vulture. And so that is, let's say, a good thing for new players, but keep in mind, yeah, this is early access, everything is a matter of change. So we would recommend not spending IRL into this game, not as much as possible, or as less as possible. And if you want to be a salvager like we did, then it might be that the RSI salvation would be a thing to think about, to pledge for as a starter ship. And that is something that we will find out tomorrow. Is it a starter ship? That means it's a game package. Because you need to have a game package in order to be able to play after IAE. During IAE is a free flight. Everybody can enlist themselves for free, create a free RSI account, start out is 1 hour a week. You can basically fly almost all ships available in-game for absolutely no money. And then just have a test out. Tomorrow is RSI Day. RSI Day, what other RSI ship is expected or already confirmed. It is the RSI Perseus, a big heavy gunboat. We consider it as a large ship. That means it will get a large hangar, and it has 2 size 8 cannons and some S8 guns and whatnot. So it's big and heavy. Yeah, heavy shoot. But the problem with the Perseus is it is big and heavy and slow. And so if you are a solo player, it doesn't really give you any advantage nor joy if you fly this thing alone. And even if you have a crew, let's say you are in an orc and you want to do some gun and boating, the question is against who? Capital ships like an Idris or Polaris or whatnot. But what for? I mean, it's just, you can call it murder hobo or griefing, it doesn't really matter. There is nothing like something like a gameplay, or not even something like a roleplay thing. Yeah, I mean, you could be a pirate, and then you attack all these ships with the gunboat, and there is a little cargo capacity in that ship, but that's it. Where did the hand go? Yeah, the RSI Perseus, we would not recommend in any case. So we do not sell here anything, and we also do not have anything laying around. That is good. Then Sacrant's block. Somebody showing up. What else? RSI? Probably nothing. What's going on? RSI, IAE, 3955 schedule. The second day, Origin. Origin jump works. There is nothing new to the Origin.
Systems on.
The only one thing why Origin jump works matters during IAE is a potential of LTIs. And if you want to invest financially, I mean invest, what do you mean with invest? If you want to spend money, if you want to be financially involved into Star Citizen, then you might want to take care of having your ships equipped with LTIs. What does that mean? LTI stands for lifetime insurance. What does that mean? An insurance on a virtual spaceship. Yeah, nobody knows. This is just some CI greed stuff. But when or if Star Citizens ever will come out and without life, a legal project, a legal product that can be obtained with spending money and getting the license. We already have a license, the game package, but once it comes out, it is considered to be a legal viable product. And then a lot of things will change. Now, when you observe the progress of this project, then you realize since 10 years, or meanwhile 13 years, they're doing what they're doing. And we assume they will not change it unless they have to, for whatever reason. But until then, they need to accomplish a lot of stuff. Crafting, engineering. That's it. That is, let's say, 2 functional requirements they set themselves as a goal, and they need to implement them. And as soon as they implemented that, it doesn't matter about the quality or the functionality, it just need to be implemented as a feature. Then they have the legal groundwork to make it Star Citizen 1.0. No alpha, no early access. Star Citizen 1.0. And once that happens, LTI becomes a thing. LTI and warranty. They talked about IAE last year, CitizenCon last year. And nobody really gets it unless few people really get it. And so that's why we are converting all our ships to LTIs. And when it comes to Origin jump works on the second day, we are looking for LTI tokens and or if we can pledge for the 600i. We probably don't pledge for the 600i because we have no use for it. Yeah. And then third day. Third day is Entwicklung. No drink. We already have the Ironclad Transport Edition with LTI, so no business there. But when you ask what is a new ship, what new ship Drake delivers, it will be the Drake Clipper. And when you do your search, do your homework about the Drake Clipper, you do not spend IRL money into that thing. There is absolutely no reason, no benefit, no improvement, no rewarding aspect to it to have that thing in your fleet. And then November 23rd are all the alien ships. Yeah, for those who want to have the Banu, that would be the day. We already have the Banu, but with no LTI. So we would make sure that we can get an LTI token. We already have an LTI token. But we would melt the Banu we have and pledge for a new Banu with the LTI token underneath. So then we would have a Banu with LTI. Then November 24th, Kruger, Misk, Murray. Misk could be interesting. They didn't announce any new ships, but when it comes to LTI, there are some few Misk ships that could be interesting. We cannot name it because we do not know it, but the Odyssey would be one. This science ship would be one, but we don't see any gameplay at all that CIG could pull off. So that would be a waste of money. It would be space trimming at the end. Why not? But we do not have the money for that kind of space trimming. Then November 25th, annual day. We have no use for annual ships so far. November 26th, Argo. What is it? Consolidated Outland. And Gray's Market. Maybe Gray's Market will release another crap. Consolidated Outland is only the Pioneer, but who wants to pledge for a Pioneer? Because the Pioneer is not a ship that you fly around with. And the Argo, yeah, well, the Argo Mall would be a thing. And other than that, they don't have much. The Raft would be a thing, since resource drive, a lot of people think that the Argo Raft is the best hauling ship. Yeah, well, they never really hauled. They only did the event. So yeah, that would be a thing. Not for us, but for some people maybe. November 27th, Crusader. They didn't announce any Crusader ship. We do not expect any Crusader ship. The only one Crusader ship that could be a thing would be the E1 Spirit, passenger ship. And at the same name is also Tombury, but ground vehicles also not. There's only one ground vehicle manufacturer, and that would be Grey Cat. Grey Cat would deliver the MDC, which is also a useless vehicle.
Quantum travel complete.
No reason to spend money on, even if you do some sort of ground combats or whatnot. Yeah, no reason to spend IRL money on that. So we expect, based on our own opinion about the ship fleet that will be presented as new ships, there is nothing new that would fit into our game. There is nothing interesting that we could pledge for, because we already have all the ships we want to have, need to have in order to have gameplay. So for us, the RSI Salvation had been the only one potential ship that we would have spent money on. Other than that, we only do eventually spend money for equip the Banu merchantman with that. This year around, we do not spend IRL for IAE. Yeah, and it might be that a lot of people want to pledge for the Perseus until they realize it's nothing worth.
Docking initiated.
There is no gameplay, there are no contracts, the ship itself is fragile as fuck, big and slow. Beside the good looking of a typical RSI ship, there is nothing to it. So we checked Shepherd's Rest, we checked Bueno Ravine, we checked Carnot View, and we checked Sequence plots. All empty, all empty. Carnot View was the only one place where we had boxes laying around. really interesting that no of our friends are playing right now. We will be right back. And we are back. As you can see, we lost all our countries. Doesn't really matter. This is the last step we do before we could have boxes in somewhere. But it doesn't really matter. station.
Welcome to the ASOS vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle select. Please visit us again.
So once more, go through the bulk contract, 55 available contracts, and we will go down to Ruin Station, take them all, but only bulk grade, because the bulk grade are in senior, master, and experienced rank. That gives us a push in reputation. So we got a few contracts here. All these bulk contracts are Hull C contracts. Yeah, talking about that, we could claim.
Welcome to the ASOS vehicle
DRC.
retrieval system. Your insurance claim has been sent. Please visit us again.
So what we do here is, in our reputation for Red Win, we are almost at masterful we mean. And so we have a look, will be maybe they even locked. No, we just need to be more patient. $1 each contract, Preferably the small one. Alright. Get the boxes out. Then we start submitting these contracts. We do not get any money out of it, but we don't do it for the money anyways. Alright. 11 contracts done. And we maxed out master rank. Alright. Yeah, we really should have claimed the Halsey
Your
earlier.
insurance claim has been sent.
Even if we expedite, we need to wait 12 minutes. So this is for today. Thanks for watching and see you next time.